This is Dan of Vagabond Awake.
𝗔 from whole adventure.
And this video is going to be the top 12 places to retire and why. Now, I've been to 73 countries over the last 17 years. And Chung?
I've been to 48 countries and I'm traveling with Dan for 7 years.
And we're going to cover the top places by region: Eastern Europe, Latin America, and Southeast Asia. But these are just our first impression. We spent 6 months touring around Eastern Europe. These places are not in order, just first impressions based on regions of the world. And then after that, we got a couple runners up we might talk about a little bit that are both also in Eastern Europe. So Eastern Europe, what are some of the places that come to mind for you, Chung?
I have a few places I like in the Eastern Europe. I would like to talk first, but all this is not in order. The first one I would like to talk is Greece. We've been to Thessaloniki, Athens, and Kalamata, but my favorite one is Kalamata.
Wow, Kalamata, what a beautiful beachside community that is.
They have a nice restaurant, and compared with the breakfast, Greece and Italy, Greece have much more value on their food choices, and their food is really good. And it's good for vegetarian, and also it's good for meat eater.
Yeah, and the central part of Kalamata is where all the locals hang out. Is really fun, and it's just totally walkable. Coffee shops, clubs, nightlife, everyone just having a really good time. It's just a great little city, around 70,000 people, I think, right on the Mediterranean Sea.
And also, it's just 3 hours far from the Athens. You can just take a bus to go there.
For Greece, you go as a 90-day tourist visa, or it's in the Schengen area. And if you want residency, you have two choices. You either buy a piece of real estate somewhere between 275,000 US and 440,000 US, or if you can prove a monthly income for a pensioner of 3,500 or a digital nomad of 3,500, you can get residency that's renewable each year as long as you meet those requirements. Now, the average salary in Greece is $1,100 US a month. Expats trying to live like a local, that's around 1,300 to 1,700. Expats that want a little bump up in lifestyle, that's going to be around 1,700 to 2,900, but the sky's the limit.
Well, the second one is I didn't expect that much in that country, but when I arrived over there, wow, the apartment that we're renting in Airbnb is lower than the others. Very nice apartment, clean, and also in the center, have a big TV, good internet speed. And this country is not Macedonia. And what I love is the Skopje, the capital. We've been to another part, it's called 𝐼𝐻, the lake of the Macedonia. You know what I love in the North Macedonia?
What?
Is the beer. The beer is a very nice, it's like a champagne level of the beer. It's called 𝗏𝗏. It's a very nice local beer.
Yeah. There's a neighborhood also in Skopje, the capital. There's just a gorgeous neighborhood. Restaurants, bars, nightlife, beautiful trees, flowers, really walkable part of the city. Now, you get a 90-day visa upon entry, and you can also get a pension if you would like to retire there. The average local salary is around $1,100 per month. So as an expat living more like a local, you should be able to do it easily for around $1,300 to $1,800 a month. If you want to bump up a lifestyle, you're looking around $1,800 to $3,000 a month. But the sky's the limit if you have deep pockets.
North Macedonia is not under Schengen area. The next one, actually it's the next two one, is the most easy visa in the world. The next one is the country of Georgia.
The country of Georgia is a beautiful place. It's the capital, our favorite city there. It's sort of nestled in around these mountains, and so you have slightly elevated streets, and you have these gorgeous old mansions. Fell in disrepair during the communist period, but now they're coming back to life. People are renovating these things, and they're huge mansions. Some are being turned into apartment buildings. Other ones are being turned into fun nightclubs. It's really an amazing place. Restaurants, coffee shops, nightlife, it's blast.
And also, me as a Malaysian and then as a US citizen, we can go there for a year.
Yeah, a year. 90 countries can go to the country of Georgia for 1 year. So that's with a visa exemption. It's not even applying for a visa. They have great taxation there. And if you want to get residency, you just buy $100,000 property and you can get residency and renewed every year. Now, the average salary there for the locals is 925 US per month. So if you're trying to live more like a local than, a fancy expat, you're looking at 1,100 to 1,500 a month. But if you want to live more like you did in your home country, you're looking at 1,600 to 2,700 a month. But if you have deep pockets, again, sky's the limit.
Yeah, I loved Tbilisi because I wanted to go to Georgia for a long time. Why? Because the apartment is very cheap in the Georgia Tbilisi. We got the Airbnb book for $20. Nice, beautiful studio, with washing machine, cooking, heater, AC. Boom, we are in the center of Tbilisi.
Yeah, and the next one, and probably our favorite one in Eastern Europe,
Albania, and we already make a video about Albania. They also have a good visa for US citizen. You can stay there up to a year. The people is very friendly over there, and also the food. They have a very nice food, even it's an international food or the local food. Like a pasta dish, a very delicious pasta dish is about $5 per dish.
Albania, Tirana, the capital, is going through like a renaissance. It's just beautiful and it's full of life and vigor, and it's just really fun to be there. An American can show up there and they stamp you, no visa, on entry, it's just 1 year you get. And then if you want residency, the best way to do that is to just buy a piece of real estate, anywhere from 60 to 100,000 on the lower end. You got to get yourself a condo, or so no problem at all. And then now the average salaries there are 823 US dollars a month. As a retiree, you're not going to be getting a salary, but that helps you gauge if you want to live like a local. As an expat, you're going to spend around 1,000 to 1,500 a month. As a middle cost of living, I would say 1,500 to 2,500, and sky's the limit as usual if you have really deep pockets.
And also Tirana is good for vegetarian because the restaurant over there is the best, because me and Dan can go into the same restaurant. Dan can order his food and I can order my food. And the wine is nice also over there. Are you ready to buckle your seatbelt as we are traveling to...
If you like my free ebook about how I fired my boss and traveled the world for 17 years and how I pay for things, come to Vagabond Buddha and grab the free ebook.
We are traveling to Latin America.
Yes. First stop, the plane's landing in Mexico in Querétaro. Now, Querétaro is often called the Silicon Valley of Mexico. A lot of technology companies go down there for outsourcing or whatever. And so that per capita income is a little higher than some places. The center of that city is drop dead gorgeous. It's a colonial era city, cobblestone streets, ancient buildings, and so it's really a lovely place to wander around, especially like right around the square. It's just beautiful. Now, Mexico has a 180-day tourist visa, but if you want to stay past that, 2 ways to do it: either get a residency for proving $4,393 a month, or if you can show you have $73,215 in a U.S. bank account, then you can get a residency there in Mexico. Now, the average salary is about $1,226 US dollars a month. So an expat who's trying to live more like a local can easily live on around $1,500 to $2,000 a month. And if you want a bump in lifestyle, you're looking at around $2,000 to $3,200. And as usual, deep pockets can spend however much money they want.
The next one will be go to Guatemala. Antigua is a very beautiful country, and I love it because it's quite cold, because in the mountainside. I went to a Spanish school. I learned my Spanish in the Antigua as well.
Antigua was the capital of Central America when it was a Spanish colony. So you have some of the most beautiful buildings there, cobblestone streets, restaurants, nightlife. It's really a fun place to hang out, and so we really love it there. Now, the average salary of the locals is about $500 US per month. So if you want to live more like a local, you can easily live on around 800 to 1300 a month there. But if you want to a bump in lifestyle, you're looking at around 1500 to 2300 a month.
Yeah, and also if you want to explore other part of Guatemala, you can just jump on the taxi or the bus to go to Lake Atilan. Lake Atilan is have like at least like 11 different small village, but my favorite village is the San Pedro. It's more hippie and it's more fun on over there. The food also is nice.
By the way, we have videos about all these places on our YouTube playlists, Hobo Ventures and Vagabond Awake. And so if you want to see details about these places. And then finally, for Latin America, Peru. One of my favorite places in Peru is called Arequipa. And Arequipa is just a gorgeous part of Peru. It's a relatively high elevation, so it averages around, gets up to about 75 Fahrenheit every day, and only goes down to about 43 Fahrenheit at night. So it's a really nice temperature, and it's a gorgeous colonial era city with cobblestone streets and nightlife and a big assortment of restaurants. It's a university town, and so there's just a lot of fun stuff to do there. They also have an amazing monastery there that you can see, just gorgeous.
And also you can go to Grand Canyon and also the hot spring. And you also can visit the Princess Juanita. In the Peru, for me, it's like you are stepped back to the Inca time.
Are you ready for some heat? Beautiful, friendly people? Party?
And the best affordable healthcare.
Welcome to Southeast Asia.
In Southeast Asia, we have different opinions that we like to be retired and why. But first three is we have the common one. First one is the land of smile, and you know that is Thailand.
Thailand, yeah.
And I choose Koh Samui for my place because I love it. It's an island, and you can explore some white sand beaches. They have different night market. They have big supermarket. They have hospital. They have international airport. So, and also that you can renting a motorbike in this island without a police hassle.
Yeah, the police didn't seem to bother us there, did they?
No.
Thailand's known for its medical tourism. And you can go, when you go to Thailand, you get 60 days upon arrival now. But after 60 days, you can do a visa run. But if you want to get a residency in Thailand, the retirement visa, you have to be 50 or older. And you either need to prove a $2,000 a month pension, or you can put 24,000 US dollars in a Thai bank to get your residence visa that you need to renew annually. And not much else needs to be said about Thailand. Next up is where I met Chung.
Kuala Lumpur.
Malaysia. It's a beautiful country. Malaysia is probably the most developed country in Southeast Asia other than maybe Singapore. I mean, the freeways, the airports, high-rise buildings. I mean, the Petronas Towers are there. It has all these amazing 5-star malls with all the brands from around the world, delicious food.
And also Malaysia and Thailand is well-known medical tourism. Then also have done the health screen in both countries.
And the most famous hospital in Thailand did a full screening. Now we're talking about blood work, bone density scans, MRI, checking the eyes and skin, and for, you know, just like they do, it's nothing like a physical in the US. It's like a total body examination. And it was around 1,300 US dollars. Amazing job, beautiful hospital, excellent doctors. But in Malaysia, a similar sort of program to check your body out, same stuff, MRI, CAT scans, bone dent, all that sort of stuff at Prince Court is only around $450 or something like that.
Yeah.
And so there's a big price difference because Thailand's better known for medical and tourism, and people have been going there for 40, 50 years for medical tourism. But the medical care in Malaysia is not second best to Thailand. They're both top notch for Southeast Asia. So there's the medical tourism thing. Plus, in Malaysia, doctors speak a little better English, so you can have a conversation a little more clearly, ask your questions, and get them answered. Now, when you enter Malaysia, you get a 90-day tourist exemption. If you're 25 years or older, the Malaysian visa now, without proving any monthly income, if you put $150,000 in a Malaysian bank and buy a $150,000 house, you can get a residency there in Malaysia. And after a year or two, you can get half of the money you put into the bank back for purchase of the house or for medical care. You have to live there 90 days of the year. Now, there's also a residency in Sabah. If you're 30 years or older, Sabah is on Borneo. Malaysia split into two parts, Peninsula Malaysia and Borneo, Malaysia.
Mhm.
Sabah's on Borneo. If you're 30 or older, you buy a $150,000 condo and you have to show $2,500 a month income, put $37,500 deposit in a bank, and you have to live there 30 days of the year. And there's other visas that just kind of gives you a flavor. Now, the Malaysian average income is, for the locals, is about $1,200 a month. So if you're interested in living more like a local, you should be able to do it easily for maybe $1,500, $1,800 to $2,200 a month. And if you want to bump up in lifestyle above that, you could do it pretty easily for $2,200 to $3,000 a month. And again, if money's not a problem for you, it doesn't really matter, but it's a great place to live.
Yeah, and the next one is what we think is the cheaper cost of living among all the Southeast Asia country. You agree, right?
Yeah, I do agree.
And the country is Vietnam.
Vietnam, baby.
But we have our different favorite places.
Yeah.
My favorite places is Da Nang. For me, Da Nang is more less touristy. Is more local over there, but they also have a lot of digital nomad and young people over there.
Right.
That's why they have a lot of nice restaurants, and also they have more choices, vegetarians and meat eater.
Yeah, and they have both Western and Vietnamese food in Da Nang, right in this little neighborhood where all the expats hang out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I love Da Nang just like Chung does, but for me, my favorite's Nha Trang, because it's quite a bit south. I think it was 8 or 10 hours by train. So it's warmer year round and it doesn't get as cold in the winter, but otherwise it's pretty similar. Vietnam has cheap healthcare. We've interviewed people on my channel, like one guy got his cancer cured, stage 3 cancer, for like under $4,000. With Vietnam, you get 90 days, you get a 90-day visa that you have to apply for online before you fly there. They are allowing people to do back-to-back 90-day visa runs. You'd fly out after your 90 days, go to wherever, Cambodia,
Malaysia, Thailand.
Yeah, anywhere in Southeast Asia, Philippines. Enjoy a week or two or just a few days. While you're in the other country, you apply for the visa. When it comes in, you fly back and start the thing over again. We met people over that had been there longer that maybe got like a business visa or a marriage visa, and there's other ways to get visas there. If you want to live like a local there, the average salary of a local is around $700 a month. That means as an expat living like a local, you can easily live there for like $900 to $1,400 a month. If you want to bump up in lifestyle, you're looking at $1,400 to $2,400, and there are people there spending multiple thousands of dollars a month. So the sky is the limit. It's up to you.
So the next one for me is the Philippines. And I choose the place is Baguio. I love Baguio because it's in the highlands, and also it get a little bit cooler, and the vegetable and the fruit is mostly import from the Baguio, this city. So you have a better quality of food and vegetable, and they also have a very nice vegetarian restaurant. And if I get bored in the life in the mountain, I can just jump in on the bus, 2 hours, I'm down to San Juan La Union. I can go for a beach.
Yeah. And Baguio is a university city, so there's always stuff going on there. It's a very artsy town. And they also have this big park in the center of the town where there's people ride these paddle boats, ride their bikes and roller skate. So it's a fun place to hang out. So the other place we really love in the Philippines is called Boracay, which is a white sand beach island, practically white sand beaches all the way around the island. And it has a bunch of restaurants and nightlife and a bunch of expats there. It's kind of a party town, it's really a vacation sort of thing.
Yeah, it's a very touristy town.
Yeah. And so, but it's really fun because all the food choices and the excitement. But you have to add about 50% to the cost living there because it's more expensive.
Yes.
Now, in terms of residency, you can go as a tourist and get extensions for up to 36 extensions. But if you get tired of that, or you have trouble getting your extensions, you're age 50 or more, you can get a pension residence visa for $10,000 deposit and proving 800 pension for a single person or 1,000 for a couple, and you can get residency visas there. And if you have no pension and you're age 35 to 49, you can put 50K in a Philippines bank in order to get a retirement visa. And if you're 50 or more and you want a visa, but you don't have a pension, you just put 20K into a Philippines bank. Now, the local salaries in the Philippines are around 700. And so to live as an expat there, you need to spend somewhere between like 900 to 1,400 a month as an expat, because you're going to spend more than a local probably. And then if you want a bump in lifestyle, you're going to have to pay like 1,400 to 2,400 a month. And then like everywhere else, the sky's the limit if you want to spend more. And finally, Indonesia, there's a town called 𝗂𝗏𝗏, which I'm in love with, and Chung's not as big a fan of.
I feel very touristy for my taste.
Yeah, so it's in the mountains, a little cooler than down by the beaches. And the thing I like about 𝗂𝗏𝗏 is there's these walking streets, restaurants and bars and coffee shops and all sorts of stuff to do. And so you never have to get in a car. And we found a cool little jungle kind of bungalow thing there. It was like $320 a month or something. Anyway, the average salary there in Indonesia is about 700 US a month. And so if you're willing to live like a local, you're going to spend around 900 to 1,400 a month US. And if you want to bump up in lifestyle, you're looking at 1,400 to 2,400 a month. That's 𝗂𝗏𝗏.
Now it's coming to the runner-up, the two bonus for you to know why we would pick that. But we will need to do more research and have to stay there longer and give you more detail of this.
Yeah.
So the country is Italy and Croatia.
Yeah.
It's my choice is Italy. Your choices is Italy and Croatia.
Yeah.
So I chose Bali for my favorite place. It's a center point for the transportation in Puglia. So
Yeah.
you can go any place, Poliano, Monopoli, Lecce, on that part of the town.
My favorite is 𝗪cie, just because it was just such a gorgeous city, beautiful to walk around. So, and the second place is Croatia. Between Split and Dubrovnik, there's these gorgeous little towns, but we didn't get to spend much time in them. So we have to go out there and hang out before we'll be able to say much more about it.
Yes.
Before you make any permanent changes in your lifestyle, make sure to read the disclosure that's up here somewhere. Just pause and read it. So that's our top 12 places to retire and why. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.